Hey, it's Jefferson coming at you from 2 Blandia East in Manhattan. Heading to my first record store today. It's the Academy Records Annex in Brooklyn. Let's see what we find there. Okay, I'm at the Academy Records Annex in Brooklyn. Let's see what I find. So the first record store I went to on my trip was the Academy Records Annex in Brooklyn. And when I got there, what I saw on the wall blew me away. First pressing US, the Stooges Funhouse. And right next to it, first pressing of the Meters. Look at Kai Pai. Both of these are in excellent condition. Cover and jacket. I was so stoked to find these. And thanks a lot for Nate for hooking me up with these. And I gotta say, in terms of their selection and what I've seen on their Instagram, that Academy Records Annex is probably the best of all the academies as far as a place you can actually go into and shop. So keep that on your radar and make sure you go across to Brooklyn if you're ever in New York again. Checked out Captured Records, which was another one that was recommended to me highly. Brooklyn Record Store crawl continues at Captured Records. Let's see what we have there. Saw a bunch of cool stuff on the wall. There was a Velvet Underground White Light, White Heat, original, kind of beat up for what they're asking. There was a John Coltrane Love Supreme that I started to buy, but it was a stereo, a little bit out of my price range, and I knew I had a lot of other record stores to go to. And as it turned out, it ended up selling on their Instagram like a couple days later, so I missed it, but it's okay. I'll get to the stuff I found that really made up for it. Regardless, though, I found a couple nice things there. I found this Deep Purple Machine Head Quadraphonic SQ with the poster and the lyric sheet. German pressing, so that was fun. I also got an original Al Green Gets Next to You on the High label. I had the rare opportunity to visit Royal Studios, which is where the High label was recorded, and talked to Willie Mitchell's son, Boo, who's kind of carried the torch and has produced another bunch of great albums on his own, like Bruno Mars and Boz Scaggs, other folks like that. Anyway, anytime you see Al Green and it's an original, look for this High label. It's very simple, very iconic, basically off-white and red. Hi! And Willie Mitchell really knew what he was doing. He was a great producer. He did all the Al Green's, best work in the early 70s, mid to late 70s as well. And he had this great little, what would you call it? Like a daily affirmation on his gear. And it was great as a recording engineer because it basically said, you can listen, but you got to hear that shit. That's all it said. And that's all you need to know about Willie Mitchell. But again, can't go wrong with any Al Green on the High level. Highly recommended. And that's basically what I found at Captured Records. Another store in Brooklyn I checked out was Record Grouch. Wow, I love the name. How appropriate is that? Third stop on my Brooklyn record crawl, Record Grouch. Sounds appropriate, doesn't it? I went in there, and it's geared towards a lot of punk reissues, a noise rock music reissues. So I've been on a quasi kick of that lately, doing a lot of Bill Laswell and Sonny Schrock, Last Exit, and they actually had a reissue that they had done there, this Iron Path, which I picked up, which is really, really nice, and so happy to get that. Also picked up Charles Bronson Death Wish with Herbie Hancock, and as I mentioned, I got Death Wish 2 at the Academy on 12th Street, so I got all my Death Wishes covered while I was in New York. And last but not least, this is a krautrock album that's been on my radar for a long time. It's a Mondul 2. The album's called Yeti. Now, this was a UK pressing. I've been looking for a German one for a while, but I've never seen any version of this in a while, not even a reissue. So to snag the original UK for a reasonable price, I thought it was worth it. So snag that, and chatted with the guy at Record Grouch is super nice, super knowledgeable, and very friendly. You can just tell he loved working there. And yeah, if you get to it, Record Grouch is worth popping into. It'll take you about half hour or so to go through most of the store, but you'll find a lot of good stuff. So check out Record Grouch. Okay, here we go. Human Head Records in Brooklyn. Really excited about this place to see what we find. Another store in Brooklyn I really enjoyed was Human Head, and Travis was the owner there. I'd heard about him from a lot of other dealers about what a nice guy he was and what good selection he had. So I was pretty excited to go check out what he had. Tons and tons of Brazilian prog. I bought a couple of things for my friend Vinyl Piper, and I also picked up this for myself. Doug Karn, Black Jazz label. This is something that I live in the East Bay. I live in, in Berkeley, but really close to Oakland. And for the last 20 years, 15 years, I would see these Black Jazz titles all the time. And I'd stumble over them in record stores. And, at the time, unfortunately, it just wasn't really on my radar. But then I saw an episode on the OBC wall where they were talking about this label and played a couple clips, and I was just like, oh my God, this stuff's great. Why have I ignored it for so long? And then I started streaming it, and I'm a quadraphonic person, so there's a lot of this stuff is done in quad, so I have rips of those things listed on my surround sound system. But blah, 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 long story short, I'm really into these now, and they're incredibly expensive and incredibly beat up if you find them. So Travis at Human Head hooked me up with this for a very good price, and I was super stoked about it. And the other thing that I'm really stoked is that, a month or so later after I went home, checked his Instagram, and he had this, which is, I've been looking for the Blue Triangle for a while, so it was nice to finally pick this up. And shout out to Hey Joe Blair for picking it up for me, cleaning it, and then sending it to me. So I'll have a review on that when I finally get it in. Maybe I'll do a 12, 15-way shootout with Dark Side of the Moon, depending on how much time I have and how inspired I am. I'm really excited to finally have it. I have the 30th. I have the Japanese First Blue Triangle. I have a couple of quadraphonic mixes and a 1997 EMI repress, which was the next to last time the tape saw the light of day. So it'll be fun to see what it ends up sounding like. Thanks again, Travis. Oh, regarding Human Head, I forgot to add, there was one more record I picked up, but it was after, of course, 90 minutes after I left, he put this on his Holy Moly wall. But once again, my friend Joe was able to go in and pick it up for me, which is another Black Jazz album, The Awakening, Hear, Sense, and Feel, which is one of the more accessible of the Black Jazz catalog, and it's just really, really wonderful. So another shout out to Travis for that. Thanks.